Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, guys, so I'm back again for another Live Wire. So it looks like there has been some news finally circulating in the world of the WNBA, and it comes out of the league, rival league, where we all have been wondering what's going to happen, because you know what Saturday is, to January 11th, where teams could negotiate with free agents. And the first domino has dropped, which I want to take out the time to say, a lot of us content creators, even including myself, has been talking about one Satou Sabally, when she made it known today that she is not coming back to Dallas, which we all been talking about this since she made her TikTok video at the end of the season saying that she was looking forward to greener pastures. She was looking forward to being a free agent. She was looking forward to have better shoe deals and all of that stuff. And Satou confirmed it today in her her media availability for the rival league, the Phantoms. And I'm gonna let you hear it for yourself.
And then also, you're one of the top free agents in this year. So, I mean, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me, because I've already played my last game in Dallas, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league, because I have not played on a different team yet. And I'm excited to get to know them more on a personable level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will fit best in the future.
Would you want to play with your sister?
Yeah, of course. In the future, I would love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ben?
Yeah, to just following up there, I guess, because you said it's Satou, what was Dallas's reaction when you communicated that to them?
Obviously, at first they were still trying, but I think what is most effective is working with the player and listening to their wishes and hearing out how we can find the best solution for each other. So there was always great communication, more so on the agent front now, because I need to focus on Unrivaled, and I will. So I'm trusting the people that I have on my staff and the front office with office to solve that further. So I have good communication with them.
Gotcha. And one on Unrivaled, I mean, I think you're the only player born outside of North America to be participating in Unrivaled this year. Obviously Lee Edwards being Canadian. Just how did you kind of weigh the decision to play here or go back to a EuroLeague team or go Fen Air somewhere else? And in future years, how do you think international players will weigh potentially trying to play in Unrivaled versus in Europe or China or in Australia or whatever?
Yeah, I was actually born in New York. Fun fact.
All right, so you hear what Satou had to say about her becoming a free agent and that Dallas is working with her for her destination. And let me make this perfectly clear. Satou has the power for her destination. It's not because teams have high draft pick or they can make this trade here. She has to want to go to where that team is. There's only two teams that I see Satou saying that she might want to go to. That's the New York Liberty and the Indiana Fever. Indiana Fever has money. Now, they might not have the strong assets as players as New York has, but New York just coming off a WNBA championship. They still have to re-sign Breanna Stewart. They still have a contract extension for Sabrina Ionescu and Jacqueline Jones coming up. That's going to tie up a lot of money. How are they going to trade for Satou, pay her on top of that? And even if the collective bargaining agreement does bump up the salaries a little bit more, they still have to pay the next two highest players playing on their team. That's Jacquel and Sabrina Ionescu. Then you still have Phoebus on a rookie contract for 3 more years. So then you still have other team. Then you still got, I think you got Satou's sister for 2 more years on there. This coming up season and in the 26th season. Then you still have Lainey Hamilton for 1 year left. So the Liberty most likely wants to continue to keep their players intact to make another championship run. So I don't see them giving away a lot of assets or making a lot of moves, if they want to go back to back. That leaves somebody like the Indiana Fever, where the Indiana Fever, they could give up Melissa Smith, they could probably package Grace Berger, they could probably say, hey, or they want Victoria Saxon in the mix, or Katie Lou Samuelson, one of the two, you know what I'm saying? And give them their second round pick. I don't see now, if the Fever really want Satou bad, then I see them giving up that number 1 pick and saying, hey, we give you this pick, but you give us your number 2 pick. So that gives the Fever 2 picks in the second round, and then trying to move their way back up into the first round. I don't know. I mean, we have seen it done in the NFL many times. You give up a first round pick, and then you get a second round pick out of the deal as well, and you give up 2 players. Then you find your way to try to move back up into the first round to get a good quality player. So that could be another situation for the Fever. But there's been also reports saying that, hey, the Dallas Wings could do a 3-way trade with Seattle, Chicago, and Dallas, where Satou goes to Seattle for Drew Lloyd to go to Chicago, and then Dallas gets the number 1 pick and probably some players from Chicago and Seattle. But with Chicago owning the number 3 pick, do they want to do that? Now Dallas could get the number 3 pick and then trade and make a trade and draft, because they'll have the number 3 and the number 2 pick, and they could get Paige Beckers, and they could turn around and get Olivia Miles at number 3 if Olivia Miles don't go at number 2. So you have 2 rookies on your deal. You have 2 first round picks. I don't see that happening either, because I don't think Chicago has enough to give away to get Drew Lloyd, even though she's from Chicago. Now, me personally, I do see that, hey, maybe you trade with the Fever and see if the Fever can give you that number 8 pick for Satou. Then, or you could do a 3-way trade with Chicago, with Seattle, and you could say you send Drew Lloyd over there with Enrique over there to Dallas. I don't know. I mean, but right now that Satou has made it known, and like I say, I don't think she's going to want to play in Chicago, and I definitely don't think she wants to play in Seattle. Them not the 2 places she wants to play. I do believe she would like to play in New York, but I don't think she knows that it's going to. Now, she says she would love to play with her sister in the future, and maybe that's somewhere down the line. Now, her sister got 2 years left. If Satou signs with Indiana, maybe Indiana could bring her sister down there to her too. There's some way. I mean, the future looks pretty bright. Indiana has a bright future where it's to be. I think that, to me personally, I really think that it's going to come down to between New York and the Indiana Fever for Satou. And I think the Indiana Fever is going to make the biggest play for it. I think the Indiana Fever probably working out a deal as we speak to get Satou Sabally over there, because I don't see her going any other way beside like I say, I don't see her going any other place besides either New York or the Indiana Fever. I don't see her going anywhere else. Now, the report broke early today by Annie Constable. Now, she said Satou stated clearly during media availability, which on Rivals, that she has played her last game there, said that she is working with Dallas to find a better place for her to move forward. Now, even though Annie put an article out and wrote this out on print, we already knew this. Like I said, we already knew this. As content creators, we've been talking about this since Satou made an announcement at the end of the season. So I have been putting out videos about, her coming to Indiana. I have been talking about, her free agency. I have talked about her not going back to Dallas, regardless of them drafting Paige or not. We all been talking about this. So there's already been content in place about Satou Sabally. Because even though Annie put it on print, sometimes, like, we always say the same thing. When Adam Scheffler says it, then we know it's golden. So therefore, but anyway, she did say it, and then Chloe McPherson, who does write for the Indiana Fever, she came by and said the same thing. Satou Sabally announced that during the on-writing media availability that she would not return to Dallas, and she has already communicated with the franchise, so she could be a huge target for the Fever if Indiana is able to put together a lucrative enough trade package. And again, I do believe Indiana's going to do something. Now, shout out to John Liquidator, because he talked about this yesterday. He said that Amber Cox has connections in Dallas, and that she has connections in Dallas, and she's also could be a power player in this. Her and Kelly. Kelly is well respected around the league. You know what I'm saying? She has ties too. And if they feel like, hey, we could get on the phone and say, well, we want her. What is going to take to get her? And that they could come out to some kind of agreement, it's a done deal. So I'm telling you, I look for Kelly and Amber to be very aggressive in this situation when it comes to Satou Sabally. We can hear all the other smoke screens about New York, Chicago, Seattle, and all of that. I believe in the Indiana Fever franchise, Amber Cox and Kelly. I do believe they get this deal done with Satou. I do believe Satou will be an Indiana Fever. And then we'll see what the other moves that takes place. And like I say, I won't be surprised if they go overseas and get Janelle Solange. If they get her, then hey, everything that I have talked about came to fruition. I did it with my Washington Commanders this year. Hey, so like Adrian Ross will always say, she's batting 1,000. Hey, just 2025, I'm on that 1,000 batting streak myself. So hopefully all of this comes true. But I do believe in Kelly and Amber, and I do believe Satou will be an Indiana Fever. Like I said, the only team I see Satou going to is New York, but New York gonna have to pay her, and they still got other people to pay, and they might not have enough. And especially, everybody signing a 1-year deal. So like, if you could sign, excuse me, especially knowing that you could get Kelsey Mitchell to re-sign, that's enough to draw her back. Like I said, Indiana do have a few pieces that they can bring. They're probably gonna have to give up that number 8 pick all off. They're gonna have to give up that number 8 pick. To me, they're gonna have to give up that number. They're gonna have to give up that number 8 pick. Because that's the only way I can see this deal getting done. And they're gonna have to pull some people from overseas. I think they're gonna have to give up the number 8 pick to Dallas, and to get Satou. I don't see a second round pick. I don't see a pick for next year to do the trick. A first round pick next year to do the trick. I do believe that number 8 pick gonna have to come and play. But let me know what you think about Satou's decision. Where do you feel she's gonna go? Leave your comments below, and I will answer them when you drop them. Until the next episode, I'm out. Peace.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.